Let's look at the reporter-based solution. Why would OMTI, an office management software company, involved with the digital signatures? Because your production department want to do everything with a single click. So they were demanding time-saving, integrated solution within RB8 to generate PDF transcript, condensed transcript. Since we offer PDF as an alternative to e-transcript, you cannot have a full PDF solution without having digital signature solution also. We call it RB DSP, Digital Signature Proxy. It's a free service. It allows co-reporters to have their signatures applied to their transcript by a third party, namely the co-reporting agencies, with their approval and under their surveillance. I'm going to go through briefly the setup process first. How agency and co-reporters register with our site called reporterbase.com so that we can become a proxy, a third party between the agency and co-reporters. We will become a custodian of digital signatures so that co-reporting agents can use it with the reporter's permission. So let's go through the agency setup process. It's very simple. You only need to do this one time. Go to our site, which is www.reporterbase.com. Go to agency side, which is the middle section, and click on the sign up for free. It's going to ask a product code which has been given to you at the time you purchased the products. You probably don't know your product code. Just send us an email, support@omti.com, or call us. Once you get your product code, enter it there and click validate product. The screen will come up with your name already in there, your city and state, but rest of it fill in. Tell us who will be your contact person in your production department, their email address and a password. Make sure that you check these two boxes saying I agree to terms and privacy policy, and then click on request to join. You will get an email immediately with a registration code. You want to make sure that email you entered is a valid email address, and you will simply copy that authentication code and go back and paste it into the screen that you're currently in. Initially, we had a 5-minute timeout, but we found out there are certain email applications that are so slow that you don't get email in 5 minutes. So we end up increasing this to 20 minutes. You basically have 20 minutes to copy and paste that authorization code to join. So you will copy and paste that, then you click join. So you're registered with rb.com. Now you have to invite your co-reporters to register with rb.com. You will automatically brought into the screen called send invitation. You'll basically put in some reporters' email addresses. You can do one at a time. You can do multiple at a time with a comma separating the address. Templates will be provided to you. You put in the subject digital signature and send. This will send out email. Let's say I'm one of the co-reporters working for your company, Slow Co-reporting Company, and I just got an email from you, production department, saying that we are adding a new service. There will be a link here. The co-reporter will click that link from the email, and it'll automatically take them to the registration page. We don't collect a lot of information. We don't want to appear to be e-commerce site, or we try to use this advertising purpose. We just want their name and their email address and a password. That's it. Again, they have to agree to the terms and privacy policy and click the request to join. Same process. We send the email containing the authorization code to their email address to verify that's a valid email address, and they'll copy from the email, paste into the box in 20 minutes, and then click join. Once they do that, the reporters have to upload their digital certificate information, because that's how we become a custodian of their digital ID. It's basically 4 steps. First step is obtain the ID from VeriSign first. We're recommending VeriSign. It'll cost your reporters $19.95 per year every year. We feel that valid investment on their part to have an ID from a respected or well-known certificate authority. Would our service work with a free certificate? Absolutely yes, it will. But all our documentation, manuals, and instructions are assuming that they're working with a VeriSign. So let's say I already done that. So I go ahead and click here. I'm done. Since the digital certificate is stored on a local computer of the co-reporter, we are going to need that. So the way we transfer a certificate is by them exporting it using their browser. So they go through a very simple exporting process. If they don't know how to do it, we provide them an instruction on each step. So they'll simply make a small file, export that, so they're done. And the last thing we're going to need from them is what's called a wet signature. We're still going to need their John Hancock so that we can put it on the transcripts. So to attorneys, it looks like somebody actually signed it, even though it's really digitally sealed. So we're going to need a wet signature in JPEG format. If they don't have it or they don't know how to create those files, we provide a signature form that reporter can print out, sign in the box, fax it to us, and we'll create a JPEG file and upload it for them. It's all in this instruction here. When they're done, they'll go to last step. This is where we ask them to upload the file, the certificate. They just export it in their internet browser. And wet signature, they create it and here, and then whatever password they used, and then they click register. That completes the registration on the reporter part. Now, RB.com has all the information we need to digitally sign stored on our server. This information will not be released to anybody, not even co-reporting agencies. That's how we become a custodian or third-party proxy. Certification registration is successfully completed. Do you want to permit agency usage? So the last thing the co-reporter needs to do, since we don't know who they work for, they need to tell us the agencies they are going to allow to use their signatures. It'll automatically take them to this screen. They hit new. They search for the name of the agency by entering few letters, and they search. The slow co-reporting company comes up, and then they check the box, and then click the button that says permit certificate usage. They can keep doing this. If they work for several agencies, they'll simply find each one and then they'll permit. When they click the permit certificate usage button, it's going to send an email to that slow co-reporting agency, to that person who registered. Let's say I'm the production manager in the slow co-reporting company. Suddenly I get this email coming from co-reporter Lisa Welch, who works for us. And she's basically giving me permission to use her digital ID that are stored in reporterbase.com. There are two scrambled long characters, numbers, and symbols here. So I'll be copying that into RB8. So in RB8, I'm going to set up resources and bring up Lisa Welch's profile. Go to additional information tab. Then I hit the plus sign and I'll copy from the email that long ID and a password into these two boxes and say OK. Save and close. That's how the registration process will be done. So now we have the reporter certificate ID stored in RB8. Agencies registered and reporters are registered into this third-party proxy called RB.com.